Perfect. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our presentation and session on understanding the selection process. We know that this can be daunting to a number of you. This might be a lot of your first time. This might be a lot of your not first time, but still you might have some questions. And thank you for making it. This is the perfect place to ask. You can flick through, Lavanya. First question from me. Can you guys tell me what that picture is that you see on the chat? Any guesses? There you go, Anjali on the chat. First person to say this is it is in fact the Panama Canal. And the reason we've got the Panama Canal on is because the World Championships in debate for 2025 is in fact going to be in Panama. And Anjali, for being the first person to answer that question on the chat correctly, please stick around at the end of session. We will make sure to chat to you because you get to come to a masterclass for free. But the rest of you, as we put on our Instagram, one of you, lucky draw, will also get to come to a masterclass for free. So that only happens if you stick around till the end because we're going to pick the name at random at the end. So we're going to ask you to wait through the whole session. Perfect. So that is in fact the Panama Canal. And that leads me to talking to you about the World Championships. So the World Championships in debate is held every year in a different global city. And you can treat this as the World Cup or Olympics of high school debate, where you have 70 plus participating countries each year, and only one team can represent the nation. You have 34 plus championships that have been hosted in 25 plus nations. 600 debaters, judges, and coaches attend the World Championships. So it is the largest, most prestigious high school debate competition in the world. In the World Championships, you have 8 preliminary rounds. So just like in any sport, every single team that attends the World Championships attends the 8 preliminary rounds. And after that, there are 5 knockout rounds. So that's the double octafinal or partial double octafinal, the octafinal, quarterfinal, semifinal, and the grand final. And at the end of the grand final, you have one world champion. This year in 2024, it happened in Belgrade, and that happens, the world champion happens to be the team from Scotland. So in 2025, Panama will be hosting the World Championship. It is a beautiful, beautiful country and in a part of the world that we hardly ever travel to. So I'm super excited that there will be a Team India and a number of Indian kids that get to see Panama. And I'm really hoping that so are you guys when you're thinking about trying out to be on Team India. So how has Team India been doing at the World Championships? And so that picture you see there is from 2019, the World Championships that year happened in Bangkok, in Thailand. That's the year that Team India won the World Championship, making history for the country for the very first time. We also had the best speaker in the world that year, and also, well, the 6th best speaker and the 18th best speaker in the world that year. So very quickly, this is what our trajectory looks like at the World Championship. So we are a status A nation. That means we are in the top 16 countries in the World Championships based on our historic performances. And if you look at that, 2017, at the end of the prelim rounds, we finished 3rd in the world. We were quarterfinalists, had a top 10 speaker. 2018, we were grand finalists, finished 2nd at the end of prelims in the world. Unfortunately, dropped that debate to China in the final. In 2019, we did in fact beat that very same team, China, in the semifinal to go on to become world champions. And we were the top ranked team at the end of the prelim rounds. We had a couple of online WSDCs in 2021 and 2022. Of course, we did well, made the octafinals, but unfortunately dropped in the round. Back in 2023, when we had the World Championships in person, last year it was held in Vietnam, in Hanoi. We were top ranked at the end of the prelims, the only country in the world to finish by winning all 8 on 8 debates at the end of prelims. Unfortunately, dropped by a ballot in the quarterfinal, but had the 2nd and 6th best speakers in the world. And finally, this year, our team is just about back. They're resting. For those of you who do know and have been watching Team India WSDC, Once again, they won all 8 of their preliminary rounds, went into the knockout rounds, top of the world, but unfortunately, in a really close 2-1 debate, dropped in the octafinal. But we do have the 3rd and 9th best ESL speakers in the world from Team India. And that reminds me that we need you guys following us on Instagram so that you can keep up with what we're up to, both free sessions and otherwise, what Team India is up to. So I'm just going to give you guys all a minute and ask you to follow us on Instagram, which is Team India WSDC, and you can see that on the chat. So I will literally wait for a minute and get you guys to follow us, and then I will move along. Amazing. I'm going to hope that, some of you tweens that are hanging around on the gram are following us. I will, however, say if you do not have an Instagram account, please don't create one and tell your parents that it's my fault. I definitely don't want to get in trouble for that. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. This incredible trajectory that India has had and a really consistent performance, 2 things contribute to that. The first is all of you. That is the incredible, diverse, vast talent in this country and the amazing and rigorous selection that everyone at ISDS, all our volunteer trainers, put together every single year. And as of last year, we've got about 3,000 students coming into this pipeline from across the country, from about 50 cities. We then take 400 students into the next round, and then 80 students into national camp. And finally, we have a 20-member Team India squad that goes to the World Championship, as well as other really incredible and prestigious international championships. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick second because these dates are important. Entry rounds of selections will be happening. That is, the first round will be happening between August 31st and September 28th. We then have a round somewhere between October 26th and November 3rd. And then we have our final national selection camp. Each of this we will be talking about, so don't worry about it. We will be getting into this in more detail in the presentation, where we will be holding national selection camp between December 26th and 30th in Chennai in person. We expect that the students that are selected to national selection camp fly down to join us for these dates and stay in Chennai for these 5 days and join us for the last part of the selection, from where we select the top 20 students that make the national squad. So that's roughly the process. So we have online rounds, that's team-based, followed by online rounds, that's individual-based, followed by an in-person, individual-based national selection camp. And the second thing that really, really helps us perform amazingly well at the World Championship is the incredible coaching and hard work and effort that our coaches and our teams put in every year. Some of our past coaches are on there on the slide on the left-hand side, the kinds of people that have been working with our students. So we've got, people from all over the world, from the UK, from Mexico, from, of course, India, which is where we're all from. And all these coaches put in an immense amount of effort, along with the students that put in an incredible amount of hard work to do the things you see on the right-hand side, which is detailed research tasks, content primers delivered by experts, periodic online quizzes, prep observations and feedback, one-to-one sessions multiple times every week, games that increase your ability to think on your feet, speech viewings to make sure that you are picking up best practices for speaking style, phrasing practice and feedback after every single debate, speech deconstruction and rewriting. And this amount of hard work is really encapsulated by Tejas, who was on Team India 2019, is also a world champion and best speaker for Team India, but also is recently a World University's best speaker in the world, who basically said that look like doing about 150 debates, apart from doing all the other exercises we've listed, against the trainers who are all decorated, incredible debaters from across the country and the world, and winning about 4 of them and getting really, really difficult to listen to feedback, but feedback that pushes you and makes you better. So that is what being on the team looks like. This isn't meant to scare you. This is meant to make you feel like you should be taking on this challenge. So from January to July, that is the kind of effort that goes into making the team. This is the equivalent of being on the under 19 cricket team, but for debate. So you know what kind of commitment that takes to be representing your country in a sport. And that is the seriousness we want each of you to bring to the table. So at this point, I'm quickly going to hand to Atul to chat a little bit about who we are. And then Atul will hand to Lavanya to chat a little bit about the selection process.
Hello, I hope I am very clearly visible and audible. First of all, it's lovely to have all of you on. Thank you so much for jumping on. I see that there's no questions in chat so far, and I hope things are crystal clear. And I expect all of you to meet this challenge of being on the team and trying to bring the trophy back to India. So thank you all for this, and really wish you the best of luck in selections. So the first thing is, I just want to talk about what ISDS is and what we're trying to do here. So if you look on the slide, it's a really great picture from our national camp last year. But to put things in very simple terms, we are an organization that really believes in the power of debating. Personally, myself, my life has really changed and transformed after I started debating. It made me a better thinker, a clearer communicator. And our vision is to really help spread this message and help spread this gift of this activity to schools across the country. And that's really what we've set out to do, both because it has proven academic benefits. As you can see, debate has had positive impacts on English language arts. There's a study that shows this. It helps you be a better communicator. So participating in debating improves your critical thinking and speaking skills. And as you know, it just makes you a generally more well-informed person, and you're able to navigate your internal thoughts and the world much better with the skills and the tools that the activity of debating gives you. So we're an organization that's based in Chennai, sponsored by the Ramco group of companies. And we're really happy to have you all on here. And we hope you stick along for the selections and the rest of the other programs that we run as well. So can we go to the next slide? So this is broadly what ISDS is composed of and the people that make up ISDS, most of whom are kind of on this call at the moment. So there's Varshini, who is the executive director at ISDS. And then there's me. I currently run training and curriculum, and many of you might have seen me in some of the other workshops and ISDS programs that we run. And finally is Ragini, who is our programs and partnership manager and soon to be head of operations. The board of ISDS consists of Mr. and Mrs. Raja, who are the chairman of Ramco group of companies and the chairperson of Ramco Community Services, respectively. And of course, our mentor, Saika Islam, who is running a non-profit, a large UK-based non-profit called ARC, and is the director and leader of strategy there. And she's had about 20 years of debate coaching, having coached Team New Zealand, Team India, and the United Kingdom in the past. So this is us, and we're a really fast-growing organization, and you'll see many faces such as Lavanya, Namita, who are not on this slide, but we're all over the place. We're all based in different parts of the country, and we are really looking forward to interacting with more of you in times to come. So can we go to the next slide? So we do 3 broad things. As I said, our main goal is to really spread debating across the country. And for this, we both run debate programs like competitions, workshops, courses. We also run a national selection that we're all interested in, after which we train students to represent the country and really win laurels and make the nation and our parents very proud. So as you can see on the slide, we conduct high quality debate programs. So we conduct school-based workshops, knowledge masterclasses where we call experts from across the world to speak to you guys and give you perspectives. and we run specialized programs for student underserved communities. So students who don't have access to any co-curricular activities, students who lack the access to be able to speak fluently in English, we also do some programming for them. And of course, we run free and paid programs that we'll tell you a little bit about as we progress through the evening. The second thing we run, which is what this call is about, is we run a number of competitions and a selection program. So we host the ISDS Junior In-Person Triathlon, which I think we hosted last week, that we saw participation of about 200 students from across the country. In a few months, we will host India's premier and largest World Schools Debating Championship debate competition called the Indian Schools Debating Championship, for which I really hope to see all of you participate in. We also do things like offer grants and mentorships for those of you who have set up debating clubs or need guidance and support setting up and running a debating club. So please make sure you're reaching out to us for that and applying for a grants program when you do that. Separate to all of this, we also partner up with a number of organizations to host the number of debate competitions with different formats. So this is the second thing that we do largely. The third thing that we do finally is the selections and competition. So we conduct regional competitions, 4 regional competitions, an intermediate stage and a national camp to select the top 25 students who will get to be a part of the national squad that's trained and gets to compete. So across the country, we run 4 competitions, as I said, that attracts participation of more than 3,000 students. We also are officially the only organization that gets to represent India at the World Championships, as well as ISID, which is an under 15 debate competition hosted by Oxford and Cambridge each year. So we also select teams and represent ISDS at ISID. So this is broadly the 3 things that we do. To quickly recap, we run a number of debate programs like workshops that are free and paid. Second thing is we run a number of competitions that are like the In-Person Triathlon, the Indian Schools Debating Championship. And the final thing that we do is we select and coach the squad, and that comprises of the national selections and then training and then competition. So can we go to the next slide? And we've been in this business for a while. And as you can see, the impact that we've made is in big, bold numbers for all of you to look at. So across years, and this was last year's numbers, we've reached more than 6,000 students across 55 cities from the country, a half of which were girls. 55% of students in direct programming were girls. There were about a third of them from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And to do all of this, we are supported by more than 150 volunteers each year. The result of all of this work that we've put in is that we've won 13 national championships and international championships, including WSDC. There have been 7 instances where our speakers have been awarded with the World's Best Speaker Award, both at the World Championship and ISID. 85% of our alumni, the students that we train, enter the top 10 universities across the world. So this includes like Harvard, Oxford, Ashoka University in India, and University of Toronto, a bunch of other globally recognized and acclaimed universities across the world. And we've received from all of these students an average rating of 9.1 out of 10 in our debate programs, including our workshops and our courses. So this is what our story is, and we are really excited to do much more with all of you. But now to hand back to Lavanya to talk to you about the selections, which I'm sure all of you are itching to know more about. So thank you so much. I'm really interested in seeing you guys participate with us and wish you the best.
Okay, thank you, Atul. Hi, everyone. Do we have any questions still here? Okay, we have a question. They want to know more about individual debate opportunities. And as we go forward and I explain you more about the national selections process, I think that question of yours will also be cleared soon. Okay, moving ahead to how you can be a part of Team India, how can you represent the country in the World Debating Championship, but also different international competitions that are held across the globe, and you can become like one of the best debaters in the country. Okay. So for you to get on the squad, or for you to get and become a part of Team India, there are 3 rounds that you have to go through. So the first round is an entry round. And the way that you can enter that round is either through a team, or you can individually participate in that round as well. More details about what should the team look like, how many members you should have on your team, and how can you enter that will go as we proceed through this presentation. But the first round comprises of you debating through 4 rounds and then you going through to the next round. So all of these rounds are eliminative rounds. Certain individuals who are the top performers of those rounds get to qualify for the next round and move forward to the subsequent rounds and get a chance to finally be a part of Team India. So once you qualify the entry round, you move to the intermediate rounds, and the intermediate round like challenges you on your current affairs, how much you know about the world, what is happening around the globe, all of those issues. So the second round is going to be a quiz round wherein you'll be tested about your knowledge, and few individuals again who are the top performers will get to proceed to the next round, which is the national selection camp, and which is the in-person camp that Varshini talked about, which is held in Chennai. And it's a 5 to 6 day camp wherein you not only get to participate in debate competition, but also get intensive training and intensive coaching from one of the best debaters across the country. All of them, they come together at Chennai. They provide you with training materials. They provide you with in-person training, and they also provide you with a lot of feedback as to what you can improve on, what you are lacking, and what you can do to become like a better debater and move one step closer to becoming a part of Team India. Okay, so since we are at the first step first, how can you enter the national selection? How you can register? So you can register either through a team-based entry, or you can register through an individual entry. However, we suggest that entering via team is comparatively better than entering individually, because the team-based entry, you would be teaming up with people that you know, your friends from your school. So in that case, you would be since debate is a team sport, so you'll be debating with people that you know. So it'd be much better because you'll be more comfortable around each other and you'll be able to better communicate as well. But also the team-based entry historically has been proven to show that kids who have entered via teams have higher percentage or higher chances of getting into the Team India squad in comparison to you entering, say, individually, because the individual competition is organized by our partner, Ogly, and however, the team-based entry is organized by us directly, and we make sure that they are the best of judges to give you feedback. They are best judges to provide you the training and coaching as well. We also look forward and look around all the topics that you're going to go ahead and debate on. So all of that is monitored by us in case of the team-based training. However, all of this is monitored by a partner organization in individual training as well. So on the individual training, at the end of the day, you will be having a team only that you debate against. However, that team might be based out of like people or the pool of kids that have applied individually. So we'd encourage you to participate and form teams around with your friends, with your people across your debate club in your school and from other schools as well, and form a team and register to be a part of the national selections. Okay, so what all information do you need to understand the national selection and the zonal selection, which is the step 1 that we have for the national selection process? So if you enter the team has to be made of 3 to 4 people. So it has to be a minimum of 3 students and maximum of 4 students. And we have 2 categories. Category 1 is the junior category and category 2 is the senior category. So if you belong to classes 7th to 9th, you are eligible for junior category. And if you are in grade 10 to 11, you are eligible for senior category. The junior category is divided based on different zones. So you will be participating from the zone that you belong to in junior. However, for senior category, we just have one competition for senior selections. So what is a cross team? We encourage you to make teams within your own school and have your schoolmates as a part of your team. But if you think that you have friends in different schools that you want to make team of, you can register as a cross team as well with students from different schools. But while slot allocation will prioritize school, like students belonging from same school in comparison to say cross teams per se. And we also have a criteria that you should have at least one girl on the team. And this is only applicable for mixed gender schools. So if you belong to a co-ed school, you should have at least one girl on the team. If you have more, that's great. But minimum one should be there. And if you belong to all boys school, then it's absolutely okay for you to have like an all boys team. How can you register for the national selections? After you have made your team and after you have the entire composition of your team, then you can go to our website and you can go ahead and check which zone do you belong to. So the zones are divided into north, south, east, west, and central zone. And where does your state apply or where does your state come under which zone? All of that information is available on our website on the national selections page. So if you would go there, you would be able to see where different states are coming under. So then you can apply under whatever zone your state is coming and for that particular zone. However, if you belong to the senior category, you have to apply for senior selections only. There's one round only for senior selections. It's not divided based on zone, unlike in the junior selections. In terms of the number of teams that you can have from school, so you can have 2 teams per school. But if you need, say, more allocation or if you need more teams to be registered from your school, that can be done based on how many space that we have to accommodate for accommodating teams. Or you can email us as well with a request of you wanting more slots than what you have already gotten. So the team, if you have, say, if you want to get more number of teams from your school, so we will try to adjust that based on the zone that we have space in. However, we'll be prioritizing the schools from that particular zone. So for example, let's just say that you belong from central zone, but you have exceeded the 2 slot limit and you need one more slot. So if we have space in the east, if we have space in the south zone, we'll try to accommodate you there, but we'll be prioritizing schools belonging from the south zone first. How can you prepare? Because a lot of you might not know about WSDC style of debating and would want to know. So we have our free preparatory material that you can access, and you're going to get vast information about what is WSDC style of debating, what do you have to do there, how can you speak on the topic or against the topic, what do different speakers have to do, why is there a team of 3 people or why is there a team of 4 people. All of that information about speakers, about what to cover, how to cover, and how to learn about debating, all of this will be available on the free preparatory material. You can go to our website and you can download all of those documents there and access all of that information. And if you want to have more information or if you want to know about how you can prepare students or how you can select teams, if you are a debate head of your school, if you are the teacher who wants to go ahead and make teams or select teams, we have a free seminar which is being organized on 10th of August, especially for teachers and especially for debate head clubs who want to have more information about how you can make teams and how you can prepare your students. You can register for that as well. And we are going to go ahead and give you an extensive detail and explanation about how you can go and proceed further on that.
Lavanya, for just 1 second, Atul just posted the link to all the free preparatory material on the chat. A number of your questions have been answered in incredibly great detail on that preparatory material. So can we just make sure that you guys have jumped on and have downloaded that right now so that you guys know where you can find a number of these answers and you read the documents and the slides in some detail. And can I just get thumbs ups from those of you who have gone onto the website and quickly downloaded that? Awesome. I see a number of thumbs ups. And just to be clear, a number of these questions like what is the criteria based on which you select from the regional rounds, etc., are answered in great detail in the selections guidance. So make sure to download it.
Okay, great. Now moving ahead to giving you some details about WSDC style of debating. Hopefully you will get answers for the questions that you have posted. If not, we'll go through them again at the end of the session. So the debate room is largely composed of two teams, one which speaks for the motion, which is proposition, and one who speaks against the motion, which is opposition. Again, like I mentioned, the team size or the team is going to be for minimum 3 individuals to maximum of 4 individuals for the zonal round. For how long do you have to speak? For junior category, if you are in the 7th to 9th grade, then you have to give, each individual has to give a speech of maximum of 5 minutes. And if you belong to senior category, you would have to give a speech of maximum of 6 minutes. You might be thinking that 5 minutes or 6 minutes might sound a lot, but as you practice, you'd realize that it is not that much, and you would require some time to explain your arguments in great detail, to give enough examples. So all of that over practice would seem like a cakewalk to you. And how will you get the topic? Would it be prepared? Would it be on the spot? So we are going to have 4 rounds for the zonal selection, which will be organized in one day. So the first 2 rounds are going to be prepared rounds, wherein you will have the motions or the topics of the debate beforehand given to you. So before, at least 4 days before the zonal selections, you'll get the topics, and then you can prepare on those topics, and you'll also get the sides of whether you are speaking for the motion or against the motion. The next 2 rounds on the same day are going to be on the spot. So you will get topic on the spot for those rounds, and you will get 45 minutes of preparation time, wherein you can spend time with your team and discuss what you have to speak on, based on whether you are speaking for the motion or against the motion. So don't worry, you will have enough preparation time to speak for the topic, even if it's impromptu. And for having more details about debater briefings, or having more details about what WSDC round looks like, or what all the speakers should have to speak in a particular round, or what is the procedure that happens in a WSDC round, there's our debater briefing, and there's a tournament guide which is linked on this particular slide. You will be able to find this on the free preparatory material as well, but linking it again here, you can go through it and you'll have enough detail and enough information about everything that you need to know about WSDC rounds. So after the zonal selection, how will the top performing individuals will be selected to participate in the intermediate round? While the participation in zonal selection is team-based, it's not necessary that the selection or the people who will be qualifying will also be based on teams. The qualification will be based on individual performance. So if you perform really well on, like, out of all the kids that have participated, then you'll be able to qualify for the next round. So top speakers, which will be individually qualified for the next round, which is the intermediate round, and which is the round which happens individually and not in teams. Okay, so the next stage and the step 2 for being a part, or like getting one step closer to being a part of Team India, is the intermediate round. So the intermediate round is divided into 2 parts. The first part is the knowledge and comprehension round, and the second part is speech round. And both of these rounds like test different skill set of individuals. So the first round, which is the knowledge round, that is a quiz-based round wherein your current affairs, your knowledge about the world, and all of those things are going to be tested. It's going to be a MCQ round, or very, very short answers that you would have to answer. The second part of that round would be comprehension round. So you will have a listening comprehension wherein you would have to probably see a video and answer the questions based on what you could understand from the video. And the second part would be a reading comprehension like we have in our English test, wherein you'll have to read a comprehension and answer the questions based on that. So this is an eliminative round as well. So the top performing students at the end of the first part of knowledge and comprehension quiz will be selected to and will be written back to participate in the speech round, wherein your speech skills and your speaking skills and how you well you are able to form arguments. All of this is going to be tested. So it's going to be an extempore, and you'll be getting like 3 topics and you would have to speak on one of them. So we'll be evaluating your speaking skill, your critical thinking, and everything. At the end of the speech round, a few of the students will be able to qualify and will be the top performing students will be invited to participate at the national selections, which is the last stage of the national selection process. So the top performing students get to participate in the national selection camp, which is held in person in Chennai, and it's organized from December 26th to December 30th. You get to meet all of those kids who were the top performers so far in person. And what happens at the national selection camps, you get training and coaching from one of the best debaters across the country. They're going to go ahead and give you feedback, qualitative feedback of what you can improve on, what you should probably focus more on. So all of this is going to be personalized feedback that would help you to improve your debating skills and improve the area that you're probably weak at. You'd also get to compete from students who belong to different regions of the country who were like the top students in their own particular zone. So you get to meet so many people and make so many friends. So how are you evaluated in the national selection camp? So you're evaluated based on your speaking ability, the improvement that you have developed over time. So it's a trajectory of how you have performed over time. It's not like a one round basis thing, but also on the knowledge that you have about world affairs, current affairs, etc., and how well you are within like teamwork, because debating at the end of the day, it's all a team sport. So all of those parameters will be considered by evaluating whether you should be selected or whether you qualify for being a part of Team India or not. So the top students get a chance to be a part of Team India and then go through all the rigorous training to represent Team India in different international competitions. Okay, let's quickly go through if you have any questions. Okay, I think most of the questions are answered. We'll take questions at the end as well. But why should you participate to become one step closer to being a part of Team India? And why should you register for national selections? Because you not only get a chance to represent the country in different competitions, you also get to meet so many people. You get to compete against one of the best debaters all across the world from different regions. So as you can see, these are debaters from across different timelines who have participated and represented the country in different parts of the world. So this was WSDC Belgrade, which held this year. So this is Team India 2024. You can see our team participating and representing the country at ICYD. Then there's WSDC held at Zagreb. Then there's WSDC held at Bangkok, AWSDC Bangkok as well, AWSDC at Singapore. So you get to represent the country in different parts of the world as well and compete against students from all across the country and make friends from all across the country and all across the world as well. So this is what is at stake if you register for national selections and if you get a part and get the chance to become part of Team India. So all of these students have been able to become so good of a debater, not only because of the individual hard work and effort that they have put into, but also because of the constant effort of our judges, of our alumni, and of our trainers who have put in so much effort to make sure that you get better over and over. So all of these individuals are our alumni, and as you can see, they are from across like one of the best universities all across the world and have gotten into one of the best universities in India as well. So it's, if you think that debating in general is going to hamper with your studies, that's literally not the case, because it just improves so many things. It helps you understand about the world better, improves your GK, improves your ability to communicate better. All of this is translated in your curriculum as well, in your academic performance as well. And you can see so many students going ahead and doing so well professionally as well and academically as well. So these are a few pictures from our national selection camp, which was held last year in Chennai. As you can see, that it's not only about debating, it's also about so many memories that you can go ahead and take back home. It's about making so many friends from all across the country. It's about enjoying the process. It's about like making all of those friends that you probably wouldn't have made otherwise. So this is like a whole package that you get if you get a chance to come to national selection camp, and if you become a part of the national selection process. Lastly, how can you be prepared? What all information do you need to prepare yourself? What all can you read? What all information can you go through? So we have a bunch of free workshops that is being organized. And these are the few topics of these workshops. You can register for these workshops, and you can find the registration link for these and the details of these on our website as well. And you can find all of those details on our Instagram handle as well. So if you feel that you have to focus or if to get better on any one of the topic, or if you want to learn debating in general and want to access all of these workshops, feel free to register and be a part of all these workshops. And these workshops are going to be held and organized by one of the best debaters all across the world. We also have a bunch of paid training initiatives that you can access. We have paid masterclasses, which are one-day workshops that you can access. And these are going to be, again, can be specific topic based if you feel that you need improvement on a specific topic. And if you feel that you want to get better in debating or you want to access all of these, you can do so. I just want to note that if you become if you enroll into these workshops, it isn't a means for you to get a higher chance to get into national selections. It's just a means for you to get better and hone your skills. If you think that this would improve your knowledge, feel free to do that. We don't believe that this improves or increases any chances of individuals enrolling to get better into national selection. It just improves your skill in terms of debating, and you get a chance to ask questions that you want to about a certain topic, etc. And we have a couple of workshops which are a few days long. So we have a 4-session workshop, which is directed towards junior category for beginner skill set. We also have a couple of workshops which are 4-session and again 12-session long, which are targeted for advanced skills that you can probably access if you want longer workshops to get better. And you can sign up for all of these workshops on our ISDS website. You're going to find the registration link there and all of the details as well. Okay, since some of our rounds require you to learn about current affairs and know what is happening around the world, and I can presume that might be boring for a couple of you. So these are a few tips that you can probably use and probably access to get better and to develop a habit of learning about what's happening around the world. So I'm going to play this short video for you to get information or get some tips.
Debate Geeks, I'm Tejaswini, and I'm here to share tips on building knowledge for debating. Tip 1. Get your sources straight. Our recommendations: BBC Guides, Reuters, and The Hindu for news updates. Check out The New York Times, The Economist, and The Atlantic for longer reads. NPR podcasts and The Economist podcast for podcasts on specific topics. Last Week Tonight by John Oliver and The Patriot Act by Hassan Minhaj for fun but informational political commentary. Remember also to read from different parts of the world and from sources that contradict your own political views. For this, I read from the South China Morning Post, Al Jazeera English, and the Wall Street Journal. Tip 2. Read from these every day and make notes. Tip 3. Use your knowledge while debating to support your arguments. Once you're doing these, you're well on your way to attaining know-it-all status. Links to these sources are in the description below. If you've missed your favorites, please comment and let us know. Follow us for more tips. Goodbye and happy debating.
Okay, you can find this video on our YouTube channel as well.
Debate.
Okay. Moving ahead, since we covered about the team-based entry, I'm quickly going to talk about the individual entry as well. So the individual entry is organized by our partner, which is Ogly. all of the information that you would require for how you can register individually if you wish to, if you can't make a team. All of that information will be released soon on our website, as well as put up on our Instagram page. So stay tuned for that and keep checking for any updates that you might get for individual entry there. And again, these are a couple of pictures of Team India participating at different competitions, at a national selection, at selection camps held across the years. So, yeah. Okay, now if you have any questions regarding anything that we talked about, feel free to put it in the chat box, or you can raise your hand as well.
Sorry, Lavanya, just before you do that, I just wanted to go over all the sort of links and resources we sent into the email. Sorry, into the chat box. So I'm just going to list these out, and I want everyone to pause for 1 second because we're going to just put these links in the chat. And once you collect them all together, you can start asking your next set of questions. So I'm going to ask you to pause for 1 second from asking questions. The first is free preparatory material. There are 3 things here that you will find if you go and download it. You'll find a competition briefing guide, and that gives you all the information on registration. And then you will get a PowerPoint presentation on competition briefing. So 2 competition briefings. One is a Word document that's converted to a PDF. One is a PowerPoint presentation. The third thing you will find in free preparatory material is a format guide that tells you a little bit about the WSDC format and what adjustments we're making for that for the national selection. So you will find all 3 of these things where you can, on our website, in downloading free preparatory material. Unfortunately, we will not be spoon feeding you by sending that on your emails, because we do expect you to do a little bit more work than that, which is surf through our website and find it. Atul has been posting consistently the link to that, and we will be reposting that one last time right now. So on our selections website, you have a button that you can click that says download free preparatory material. A number of you have already thumbs up us saying that you have downloaded it, which is amazing. So we'll just send you that link one last time. The second thing in there is an events calendar. You can sign up for free workshops, paid workshops. You can sign up to any and all selections using the events calendar page. That is the second link you have. And the third link is our YouTube channel. All our sort of videos on the YouTube channel, we've also posted shorts of on our Instagram channel. So you can see that on YouTube as well as on Instagram. So just hop on to that YouTube channel. And if you want like a little bit more detail on what we'll be discussing in the masterclasses, who might be your trainers for particular masterclasses, those sorts of updates go on Instagram. So you should be following us there for those sorts of details. And then we've got a question there that says, can you send the Gmail to ask for sessions at our schools? So if you are, emailing to ask us to talk to your teachers or your schools, you can email us on Ragini at Indian Schools Debating Society or Atul at Indian Schools Debating Society. And we're putting those 2 emails in the chat now as well. So the last 2 questions I will answer before we, let some of you raise your hands and ask questions. The first is just the individual rounds. If you are signing up as an individual, you unfortunately have to wait till we get all the details from our partner organization. We will likely be announcing the individual rounds in September. The individual rounds are likely to happen end October, early November. And after that, you will proceed to your round 2 in mid to late November. So that information you'll be getting later in September. And then we've got some questions just around West Zone. West Zone is run by a Responsible Citizens Foundation, which is supported by VID University's Debating Society. They are in the process of talking to a number of schools to fix the dates for their selection competitions. So as soon as they do that, we will be announcing that on the website. So you can expect that roughly the dates to come roughly the end of this month. The last thing I will say before I hand back to Lavanya is I just want to remind everyone that this is the national selection to be on the national team. It unfortunately does not come easy in the way that being on the national team for anything should not come easy. So it does take preparation. It takes far more than attending a session or even, attending a workshop. It takes a lot of individual effort and initiative and work. It takes watching WSDC videos. It takes reading the news. It takes going through the notes you've made of different sessions that you've attended. It takes trying to deliver speeches to yourself, recording yourself, listening to yourself. The one common experience for every single person that has made it onto Team India or the Team India squad has never been that they were naturally talented at this or that they had scores of training before they came to this. It is that they have been incredibly hardworking. And that is absolutely what we're looking for. And that is the thing that matters most to us. So Lavanya, I'm going to ask you to flick back to the slide where you had you can watch free videos. You can, do a bunch of sessions. Did you have the one where you had the WSDC videos link on?
I can put this link on in the chat
Perfect.
box.
So we'll put that into the chat box as well. And just wanted to remind everyone that you need to be doing a lot of individual initiative-based work that isn't just someone forcing you to sit in a session. So there's a lot more to this than that. Okay, so I will, pause here and hand back to Lavanya for any questions.
Yeah, Pranav raised their hand. Pranav, you can unmute yourself. You aren't able to unmute? Okay.
Yeah, I have one very specific question about the second stage of selections. The second stage of selections has a quiz about general affairs and current affairs and general knowledge. Specifically, do you could we get any information on what you will be testing there? Like US elections, religion, politics, economics, anything, or any idea about that would be great.
Right. So debates in general can revolve around any theme. It can be sports, religion, politics. But for the quiz specifically, so whatever is happening latest during that period of time, or maybe like a month or so before that, you can be expected to know something around that. It can be related to sports. It can be related to politics as well. So it can be anything that has happened in the world across those times and was one of the hot topics of the time. And anything that has also happened in 2024 in general. So you are kind of expected to know what has happened across the year. Yeah. Is there any other question? Feel free to raise your hand or yeah.
Yeah, I just have a question whether we can take part in the ISDC championships and the ISDS championships together, both of them.
I didn't get you about the ISDS championship because
Yeah, I meant the premier championship that you were talking